For all your TCG needs, make sure to check out alphatradingcardgames.com.
What's poppin', everybody? It's a Sabre 94, got an expanded match with Gengar Mimikyu GX Vileplume, or Shadow Rider Vileplume. This is not to be confused for a typical Shadow Rider calyrex vmax deck with Gengar and Vileplume thrown in. No, it's mostly a Gengar Vileplume deck with Shadow Rider thrown in as an additional attacker and a different method to boost our consistency. You get that guy out, and when you attach energies with his effect, obviously you draw cards. Really great effect, really broken effect. Makes this card the reason why it's so popular. Okay, so open up with my Gengar Mimikyu GX. Really like this alternate art, full art, however you say it. Yeah, just some of these really just stand out. I don't know if it would look as good as in real life, but in TCG Online it definitely looks very good. Got Mimikyu. And it's like the Gengar in the artwork is like the Mega Gengar, not the actual Gengar. The Mega form. Anyway, we're going to open up with it. I got my Shadow Rider down, and I'm going to get Tapu Lele GX2 and pass the turn. Got that because I don't have a supporter, and depending on what he does, we'll get the appropriate supporter. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have just used the Fog Crystal at all, but it is what it is. My opponent opened up with Mewtwo GX, or Mewtwo Mew GX, whatever the order is. Yeah, this Tag Team GX have always been annoying to say. A mouthful, as usual. But it gives me an advantage because Mewtwo is weak to Psychic. And even though we're Psychic Pokemon as well, Gengar is one of those Ghost Pokemon. It's weak to Darkness. So he's not going to be able to hit me for weakness, but I will be able to. Which is great. It gives me definitely a huge advantage. This just means that just 3 stock trainer cards, just doing 150 damage is enough to get a one-hit KO on this Tag Team GX. So definitely huge. Now we're going to use the Skyla, and I'm just going to... This is kind of a risky approach, but because I have such a big hand, I don't want to give him cards with N. I don't want to dump this entire hand with Oak. So I'm just going to use the Skyla, search out the Incense, get out the Shadow Rider Calyrex, and just straight draw away into cards. I'll be able to just force him to not do anything this turn as well. So just draw a few cards, and man, I really won't be able to get much with Horror House here. So let's just go ahead and do this. Okay, turn end. I could have played some of the stadiums and like the tool to just draw a few cards, but I decided against it. Maybe I could have played the Float Stone, but it's really just meant to go on the Vileplume, to be honest. And looks like he... Okay, so this is not your, you know, standard expanded, I guess, Mewtwo Tag Team GX with all the different dudes you want to dump. This is going to be a Blastoise deck, like the Archie's Blastoise. And this really takes me back because this deck was very popular. And I did face it a lot in Expanded too when I was using Gengar a couple of years ago. Yeah, they just used the Kindra GX from Dragon Majesty, I believe, and then you can copy that guy's attack with Mewtwo. You get the Psychic coverage, and then it's a Blastoise deck basically. But instead of using things like Keldeo, you actually use a more respectable attacker, I guess, with the times. So, what we're about to do now... he made a good play. I knew he was going to do that shit when I just saw the Kindra over there. A hit and switch attack. So, trying to save the Gengar from getting the big attack. But I'm going to end anyway. And what we're going to do now is, I mean, I've bought enough time, especially because I played first. I got the first attachment. And he's in the setup, in the process of setting up the Blastoise here. I sort of messed him up with my GX attack. Mostly a favorable matchup. I'd say against Archie Blastoise variants, it's a 50-50 matchup if they're at their best. And after that, once you get the lock, it's really going to hinder them, even if they get the Blastoise out. And they did use a couple of superior energy retrievals, it's still going to hurt them. And you can eventually just shift the game to your favor, even if they're winning. But I'd say it's like a 50-50 matchup with a higher chance of only being a 50-50 matchup if they're at their best. If they're not at their best, then you're controlling the game, as I am doing right now. Especially with Shadow Rider, got a few energies on the field right now. If I get the other one, I'll get even more. So that's a lot of damage, and I don't think, like, he's gonna need a lot of water energies if he wants to get a one-hit KO on a tag team, or not a tag team, a vmax like Shadow Rider. So I don't think he'll be able to, and then I'll one-hit KO him effectively thanks to the weakness. So this makes it very easy. So with Shadow Rider Calyrex, whether he has trainers or not in his hand, I can get the job done. So it's quite good. I mean, I would like to utilize Gengar. You kind of want to utilize Gengar and then maybe later on use Shadow Rider if you have to. But it was a bit awkward. To be honest, if I had an actual good setup from the start, this deck wouldn't even have a chance. Get the Vileplume out, they can't do shit. But because I sort of failed to get it out this time, usually I can get it out quickly enough. You know, he got the chance to play his stuff, and it looks like he's going to be able to get the Archie here. Yeah, no thanks to Battle Compressor. I can't believe it. I cannot believe so many cards that shouldn't be in Expanded anymore are in Expanded. Every time I look at the Battle Compressor, I think to myself, this card is around. This is a triple Foolish Burial. Pokemon has become so much like Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, you can't adopt all the broken aspects of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then not check them. Battle Compressor is a triple Foolish Burial. It's like a mini painful choice without any drawbacks. Send 3 cards from your deck to your discard pile. So many rad interactions you can make. Pretty much almost every damn good deck in Expanded uses that card. I can only think of like Arceus, which does other broken shit to get banned. Every other broken, turbo, speedy, unfair strategy in Expanded utilizes Battle Compressor to the fullest. And the card is still around. Like, they know they fucked up when they made it, when they've printed a supporter card that is weaker than the item Battle Compressor. That Professor Chick, wife of Kukui, that came in like the V-Union boxes. But then they don't do anything about it. I don't get it. Anyway, so this guy decided to copy Palkia's attack to get all of my energies back in the deck. It seems like a smart idea on paper, but to be honest, I mean, because I can still use Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, I can just power up Tapu Lele in this case. It's gonna work out actually. I mean, I don't know what kind of cards he has in his hand, but I'm not gonna risk it. He has 5 damn energies on the dude, so Tapu Lele is going to do enough damage for just 2 attachments. 140 damage, plus I'm promoting a 2-prize attacker. So it's not going to be good for you. And I guess I'm going to end as well. Let's hope I do get the Vileplume to messing up. I didn't. But given some extra cards, I need to get the Vileplume out. That's going to screw him up for good finally. Okay, there we go. Incense. I think I must get this. Get the Vileplume out, and when I do, he won't be able to do much, like use any item recovery cards to get energies, which you probably used most of them by now, but what do I know. Now, because I evolved into the Gloom, I couldn't get the Stage 2 this turn as well, unfortunately, but we're gonna get it out next turn for sure. I mean, he's gonna play this via Secret too, so yeah, he's playing all of his stuff. But I mean, I'd say I have the advantageous position here. So he's gonna Guzma, sacrifice a water energy to attack with Mewtwo again, and essentially kill the Shadow Rider Calyrex. But I mean, Tapu Lele can do the job. I mean, we're putting in work with Tapu Lele GX. Who would have thought? Just goes to show you, everything counts. Even its attack. It's a bit dated, but it's essentially an energy a times energy attack. If they got a lot of energies, you can do a lot of damage. It puts in work. So I'm going to sacrifice the Guzma here, but I think it's fine. I'm not going to need it. Let's draw cards. I need to set up the Gengar, and now that we got Vileplume, it should be pretty good. And it'd be nice if I see another Shadow Rider calyrex vmax. But I mean, the Mewtwo is out. He lost all of these energies. There's not going to be any item recovery cards for you. So I think he should have a problem with water energies, but we'll find out. No attacker. I guess he's going to promote the Greninja. Perhaps he could use that guy to attack, but what are you going to target? I guess the Oddish is actually a good target for an easy prize. But all I have to do is just kill a 2-prize Pokemon. If he decides to use another Mewtwo, or whatever he decides to use, gives away 2 prizes, it's going to be prey for Gengar. With that big-ass hand, there has to be a lot of trainer cards there. So, Unknown, going to draw a card. He's close to decking out as well. We shall see what he'll do. I mean, I can even... I can still use the Tapu Lele depending on what he does. I mean, he's probably going to knock it out if he doesn't do anything else. And Mewtwo, wow. It's all he can rely on. Yeah. All of the other attackers in the discard pile. So he can actually get energies with Nessa, which is a great water card. So he did manage to pull off some energy recovery. Use Deluge, put everything on Mewtwo, surprise, surprise. But I mean, you know you're going to die to Gengar. So I think he just accepted he's going to lose. He can try and get another attack. Going to go for Hydro Pump. You know, good chunk of damage. Gets the job done on Lele. But Gengar is going to come for the finishing kill. As it should. So this is basically a GG. I mean, I don't even got to do anything else. Just attach the Psychic Energy and attack. Should do the job. But let's go ahead and use Oak. Just try and do a few more things just in case. But I mean, I didn't even draw the Shadow Rider anyway. So lots of trainer cards. Going to be more than enough damage. Yeah, 700. So 350 base damage. Incredible. And it's a GG. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a like. Share this video with your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. What a